What inspires change? What motivates us? It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at Scion.com.
No, the crisis is not fully resolved.
But there is light at the end of the tunnel, says GMH Administrator Joseph Verga.
The bill dealing with the debt and enabling us to go out and float the bond to refinance the prior debt and to get cash to pay down at least half of this debt, and the existing funds to redirect to Medicaid that hopefully are going to come this way to the hospital are going to go a long way to getting the hospital the resources to cover the costs that we need to cover our costs.
Verga credits the governor and the legislature for recognizing the need to respond to the chronic underfunding problem at GMH.
Underfunding is one of the primary reasons for the existing crisis. And, you know, in fact, I thank the legislature for recently realizing that it has chronically underfunded the hospital, and we all need to work together to deal with the hospital's problems.
The current crisis came to a head in July, says Verga, when GMH lost 60% of its revenue. That included the loss of Medicare reimbursements, which are now being garnished by the U.S. Treasury to pay a $6 million debt to Perry Point. Verga said GMH had been paying down the debt bit by bit and working with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to avoid garnishment when an automated program at Treasury kicked in and took the funding.
We were working with them. Now, it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to keep them satisfied, to show, you know, our good faith effort that we were trying while we tried to get the whole debt dealt with, as I continued to warn about the potential consequences. Well, in July, suddenly, you know, and unexpectedly, we received a notice from Treasury that Treasury was garnishing the money. HHS, the folks at HHS didn't even know that this happened. In fact, they didn't institute the action. They're still trying to help us get out of it.
The other two big hits were the loss of funding from the locally administered Medicaid and MIP programs, both of which ran dry in July, too.
We were told by Public Health that they just ran out of money. So realize we submit bills to Public Health for those two programs. Public Health then sends them on to DOA for payment.
So this is a question of allocation in the 2013 budget?
Yes. This is a question of the level of funding that was available for both local programs in 2013 that they ran out of money.
Not sufficient.
That's right. It was insufficient. No one informed us that, number one, the programs had run out of money and our bills were not going to be sent on. We weren't even informed that we were getting low.
But why didn't GMH raise the alarm in July when this triple whammy struck?
We didn't scream to the media, but, you know, I mean, causing a panic is not going to solve anyone's problem. But we did everything we could internally and with the administration to address the problem. So initially,
and you avoided payless paydays.
Yes, we did. In fact, we avoided 2 payless paydays so far.
And without mentioning him by name, Verga took exception to the accusations of mismanagement leveled at him and CFO Alan Ulrich last week by Senator Ben Pangilinan.
Seeking to insult and blame and continue to point fingers at folks, you know, is not going to solve the crisis. It also really demoralizes the hospital. I mean, you can say what you want and insult me personally, but what it does is it really does a terrible disservice to the people of the island, because it demoralizes the people of the hospital.
Verga expressed confidence that the hospital will be able to maintain critical services and make the final 2 payrolls of this fiscal year.
I mean, deferring 1 payroll a month was a possibility. You know, closing 30 beds was a possibility. I have no doubt that we will get through this, and we will get through it as a better hospital and a better facility. But we will get through this with everyone working together.
Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.